Fear has a sound. In the Nigerian village of Agbara, in the summer of 1988, it was the scraping of a single long nail against a window pane, followed by an absolute heart-stopping silence. They called it the Lengba, the long thing. It was a story whispered after the sun bled out of the sky, a story that soon clawed its way into reality. The Agbara Chronicle, our small local paper, first reported it as a string of disappearances, but the people knew better. It started with the Adebayo family. Their youngest son, Tunde, vanished from his own bed. His mother swore she heard that scraping sound, but the police found the door locked from the inside. There was no forced entry. There was only an open window and a silence that felt heavier than grief. Weeks later, a market woman, working late, was the next to see it. She wasn't taken. She was left behind. Found the next morning in her stall, her hair turned white, her eyes fixed on a corner of the roof, unable to speak. She just sat there for days, pointing. The police chief insisted it was a new gang of criminals using fear tactics. But how does a gang move like spilled ink? How do they leave no footprints? Fear turned to paranoia. People began hanging mirrors on their doors, believing the creature couldn't stand its own reflection. Others painted their doorways with white clay, ancient symbols to ward off what they couldn't explain. The Chronicle's headlines grew bolder, feeding the frenzy it had helped create. The vigilantes who tried to fight it met the worst fate. A group of brave men, armed with cutlasses and torches, saw it flicker between the rooftops, a ribbon of night impossibly fast. They said it dropped into an alleyway, stretched like heated tar, and pulled one of their own into the darkness. The man's scream was swallowed by the night. The police called it a tragic inter-gang dispute. But the people of Agbara knew. The city had gone mad, haunted by a thing that was neither man nor beast, a living shadow that hunted them in their homes. Years passed. The story of the Agbara shadow became a grim local legend. I was a young journalist from Lagos when I decided to investigate, hoping to write a retrospective piece. I found the old abandoned office of the Agbara Chronicle. In the damp basement, a shocking truth lay coated in dust. Projectors and long articulated shadow puppets. The old editor's diary revealed everything. He had grown to despise the village's apathy, their lack of community. He created the Lengbe to unite them, to make them feel something again, even if it was terror. The vanished were people he had paid to leave town. I felt a cold relief, the mystery solved. But then I turned to the final page. The editor's handwriting was a frantic scrawl. It read, "I stopped the show weeks ago. The projectors are broken, but the people, they still see it. They are still afraid. Last night, I saw it too. It wasn't one of mine." As I sat in my motel room that night, reading those words, a thin line of black began to seep under my door.